What's good? Mr. Peace here. I just wanted to do this third part of an email that I got back in May 2013 from someone named Nate, changing his name to protect his confidentiality and identity. This third part, I've already talked about divorce and purpose as part of his email to me, but this one deals with best friends, real friends, true friends, right? He said, "Dear Mr. Peace, today was my first time at youth group, and I promise you, I couldn't have made a better choice than I did by coming today. I walked into the youth group with the normal attitude of a teenager, my age, stuck up, ready to judge, not caring. I came in with the idea that I was cooler than others, that what brand you wear defines you, and that character is something I could achieve later on in life. Over the past year, I've made friends who have then turned out to be fake people, and have now just tried to claw my way back to those who I left behind. Redeeming friends is not an easy thing, especially since I left them in the dust to join the quote unquote popular kids. The kids who get the girls, act like jerks, and don't get caught. But at the end of my time with them, I learned something. I learned that in life, you don't need to worry about what your friends might say about you, because if you have real friends, that problem is non existent. If you ever want to tell people you're talking to something a little extra, just tell them how important even one real friend can be, and remind them the popular crowd isn't always the way to be, because that one real friend could very well save your life. Love, Nate." May 2nd, 2013. I responded back. I'll start with that. But I just said, "Hey, Nick, thanks for reaching out. Wow, I just have to take a deep breath after reading and rereading your email. It takes a lot of courage to let someone else know all that you're going through, all that you've gone through and are continuing to experience to certain degrees with respect to your friends. So I commend you for getting that vulnerable and real with me, and all the wisdom that you shared about the necessity of even having one great friend, or the true impact of even one act of kindness. That type of understanding at such a young age is beyond your years and a tremendous gift and asset to have." I just said, "God bless you, buddy. Reach out to me if you need anything else. Keep me posted on how things develop with your friends in Christ. God bless. Peace, Mr. Peace." And as I'm reflecting on it a couple years later now, the thought is that best friends, right? I always ask that question in a lot of the assemblies that I do. How many of you guys have a best friend, right? And every hand goes up. And why is that person your best friend? Oh, because they got my back. They make me laugh. We do stuff together. I've known them for a number of years. I can trust them. They, they help me up when I'm feeling down or when I got knocked down. Literally, they stood up to the bullies for me. The best answer I ever heard was a fourth grader named David that said he got on the microphone and pointed to the kid sitting next to him. He said, "Mr. Peace, this is my best friend." And this is in front of the whole school, but he said, "Mr. Peace, this is my best friend because when I was getting bullied and teased and harassed and put down, he stood up for me when I didn't have the guts to myself." And that's a best friend, right? And yeah, it's not about the brand name, about the Abercrombie or the Aeropostale or the Nike or the Old Navy, the Victoria's Secret pink A, even though a lot of the clothes aren't pink. But I mean, all joking aside, it's not about that. It's about the heart. And I tell people a lot of times, close your eyes, point to yourself. 9 out of 10 people are pointing to their heart. And sometimes that's the only thing that people remember you for, want to remember you for, is your heart, if you're actually treating them like you would treat your best friend. I've always said that if we could treat everyone like our best friend, right? We see them for their heart first. We don't care, what kind of clothes our best friends wear, if they have their hair's done or not, whatever their issues are going on. Like, we still love them no matter what. We have some fights and arguments, sure, but we always work it out because we're best friends. So I truly believe that bullying, which is ongoing, it's more than just one argument. It has to happen over and over again on purpose to get power over somebody. That really wouldn't exist because we choose to see this first. Heart's as big as the fist, right? And we choose to turn this into this, where one person is yourself, one finger, and the other one is the person that you're trying to lift up even higher than yourself. And it's two. It's not a mistake because it takes 2 seconds to either uplift somebody higher than the clouds, empower them, encourage them, or 2 seconds to destroy that person. Cut them deep that something stays on their heart for the rest of their life. But the choice to be a friend, I mean, even to have one real friend like Nate's talking about here, it's amazing. 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7 says that man, woman, us, we look at the outward appearance, but God, he looks at the heart. And I mean, that's our choice, but it's also our invitation, to look past every other deformity on certain people. People ask me, why is that person handicapped? Why would God do that? Why would God make that person not whole? But the person's spirit's whole, right? The body's only temporary, and I believe a lot of us that are born with more of a sense of normalcy, whatever that is, in terms of our physical appearance, and you have people like this, is forcing us to still see perfection, despite this person, being disabled or being handicapped, and to still see God's grace and God's love in that human being. And that's why he does it. And a girl named Cheyenne come up to me after my talk. She said, Mr. Peace, she's a 5th grader, and she said this girl just moved to our school, and she's in a wheelchair for life permanently. She said the first day she got there, even though her friends said don't do it because the girl was different, she went up to her and said, hey, do you want to be friends? The girl said yeah. And ever since that day, on lunch, recess, gym, library, she includes her. And she said, Mr. Peace, when I see her for this first and not this. And she pointed to the wheelchair. She says, I see her for her heart first and not this piece of equipment. I mean, that's the wisdom at such a young age. It was incredible. But yeah, one best friend can mean more than 1,000. Especially if it's a true friend. And I have so many stories, so many testimonials that I'll keep sharing throughout this series, the self-help series, of people that, just being a friend saved a life. If you have a similar story or similar question, or just want to share something from your heart, from best friends to any topic out there, please reach out to me, Mr. Peace at MrPeace.net, my website, MrPeace.net, or, comment here on the video, send me a direct message through Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Mr. Peace 101, Instagram, Mr_Peace_Geese. I don't always get back to you right away, but I always get back to you. And I don't have all the answers, but he does, and he leads me, guides me in what to say back and how to respond. So thanks for touching my heart. Keep being a best friend. Keep sharing your heart. Peace.